I call...
Mr. Chair?
I call the honourable member Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise to support this bill, and I would like to thank the Honourable Tariana Turia for all the work that she's done in this area. This bill sends an important message to the public that the government is committed to reducing the harm caused by smoking. We want people to quit smoking, and we're so serious about the issue that we have designated helping smokers to quit as one of the 6 health targets of every DHB across the whole country. We are also assisting DHB to help patients quit smoking by spending $50 million a year on tobacco control and smoking cessation. The money is used to fund the nationwide Quitline and targeting smoking services for Māori, for Pacific and for pregnancy services. Importantly, the government has mandated a sharp increase in the price of tobacco. The tobacco...
A point of order, the honourable member Grant Robertson.
Mr. Chair, the member's been speaking for a couple of minutes now and briefly entered...
Order.
Point of order.
Order. Member, be seated, please. Can I just say to the member on my right that when a point of order is taken, it is terse and to the point, and there is no interruptions. It's heard in silence. Call the honourable member Grant Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My point of order is that the member, in the brief time she's been speaking, has not managed to actually talk about the bill, but rather talk about various other aspects of National Party policy. You sat me down, Mr. Chair, when I was partway through talking about an SOP on this bill.
The member makes a valid point. The member had only been speaking for a minute. I was giving her an opportunity. But the member should focus the issue on the bill. Call the member. Point of order.
Mr. Chair, this is somewhat rich. I mean, we have listened to a number of speeches from that side of the House which have swayed into all manner of different policy areas. I mean, Sue Moroney was getting into the area of capital gains tax and all sorts of things. That wasn't pulled up from this side of the House. It is a broad-ranging debate, and I think if we're going to get into that space, we're happy to stand up and make sure that the opposition are closer to the bill.
Thank you. Can I thank the member for his contribution and just say that we need to look at the context in which the bill is heard, and that means how the House is operating as well. I'd ask the member to try, though, and speak to the bill, because that's why we're here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The main purpose of this bill is to prohibit the display of tobacco products and to increase and enforce controls on tobacco. The aims are twofold: to reduce the uptake of smoking and to help smokers quit. And I've made a comment that the increased tobacco tax has driven a real change in behaviour to force people to quit. The number of calls and quit attempts coming through the Quitline has increased by 50% since the tobacco tax was introduced, and the numbers of people accessing smoking cessation treatments is up 82% in 18 months. So that's real progress. Research clearly shows that display and advertising promotes the attractiveness of smoking and encourages more people to smoke and more people to smoke more often. Most people take up smoking when they are young and perhaps most vulnerable to the power of advertising. Virtually no one takes up smoking after they're 25 years of age. So it makes sense to try and prevent young people from taking up the habit for as long as possible. This bill will help that. The prohibition of the display of tobacco products comes into force 12 months after the bill becomes law, but then there's a further 12 months transition period for particular classes of business. But in a very short time, we will expect to see the delivery of no advertising, and that will lead to a further reduction of smoking in New Zealand. I commend this bill to the House.
I call the honourable member.